It really is truth. After many years of conjecture and study, experts posses ultimately located the initial ever-white gap. What exactly is a hole that is white? Exactly why are astronomers passionate about this? And exactly how does the development impair you just like a people? Stay tuned while we bring you initial ever-white hole found by researchers. You have probably heard of black gaps frightening, massive things lurking in deep space and eating anything that arrives almost. However, you have the opposite from the black hole, as well as being called a hole that is white. A white hole is, believe it or not, terrifying, but in order to comprehend it much better, it really is important to learn how black openings happen, and this is anywhere we begin with. Pay attention to the explanations, because a lot of them apply to white openings, too. However, in reverse, black gaps can come within a range of sizes, but you will find three major types of black holes. The hole that is black mass and size. Know what kinds it really is. The tiniest are classified as primordial holes that are black. Scientists believe this kind of black hole is just as small as an unmarried atom, but with the size of the mountain that is large. The most prevalent variety of medium-sized black hole is labeled as excellent. The bulk of the excellent black opening can be up to 20 circumstances greater than the sun's mass size. However, they are relatively small. They're able to quickly match inside a ball by way of a diameter of approximately 10 kilometers. The thick mass concentration is in charge of the effective gravitational extract they use on various other stuff. Researchers calculate you'll find a large number of stellar mass black-colored holes within the Milky Way Galaxy. The biggest holes that are black labeled as supermassive. These weigh a lot more than 1 million suns combined, but they will suit inside a baseball having a diameter in regards to the measurements of the system that is solar. Medical evidence suggests that every galaxy that is large as supermassive black hole at the center. The supermassive black hole at the Milky Method universe is known as Sagittarius A. It has a size comparable to about 4 million suns and would help the inside a ball having a diameter regarding the measurements of the sun. Anywhere carry out black-colored holes come from. Primordial black-colored openings are believed to have created into the universe that is early after the top bang. Stellar black gap shape whenever center of an extremely star that is massive in upon itself. This failure furthermore causes a supernova, or even an exploding star that blasts a portion of the superstar in a room. Boffins imagine supermassive holes that are black can currently given that universe they've been in. How big the supermassive black hole was related to the scale and size from the universe it really is in. A black hole cannot be viewed because the law of gravity will not enable also like to flee it. Nevertheless, boffins can see the consequences of its powerful gravity regarding the stars and gases around it. In cases where a celebrity is actually orbiting a certain reason for space, scientists can examine the superstar's movement to ascertain if it's orbiting a hole that is black. Each time a black hole and a star is orbiting near together, high-energy light is produced. Medical instruments is able to see this high-energy light. Sometimes a black hole's gravity is really so powerful it may pull from the celebrity's outside gases and grow a computer around itself, called the accretion disk. As fuel through the accretion computer spirals into the black hole, the gas heating to very high temps and releases X-ray light in most guidelines. NASA telescopes measure the X-ray light. Astronomers use this information to learn more about the qualities of a black hole. And listed here is one that is quick. Will the sun actually ever become a black hole? Not. Because of restriction, some might try conserved by devoid of sufficient mass to crash into a black hole, but that does not mean it will avoid death. Whenever the sunshine are at the end of the lives in huge amounts of ages, it will develop into a giant star that is red. Subsequently, if it has utilized the very last of their fuel, it will place off the exterior layers and become a glowing ring of gas known as a nebula that is planetary. Eventually, all of that are left over regarding the sun as a cooling white dwarf superstar. But this all continues to be much as time goes by. It produces no awareness to be concerned about it today. This gives you the holes that are white. A white hole could be the precise opposite of the hole that is black. In reality, it is a black hole viewed backward in time. As stated before, once material reaches the event horizon in a black hole, the material is doomed and cannot escape its strong gravitational pull. In the same way, a white hole is a region in which spacetime flows inexorably outwards. It is said to have an event horizon radius, which prohibits the entry of any matter, including light. The white hole is believed to expel light radiating at levels equal to the force of a black hole. The sheer force of the gamma rays would destroy them and their ship if a foolhardy crew were to attempt to enter a white hole. Or why don't we actually imagine the ship had been sufficiently strong enough to withstand that quantity of power? Also at this spacetime, around the white gap, are structured to ensure the quantity of velocity expected to bring in gets higher and better the nearer you obtain. In a nutshell, obtaining the white opening requires a lot more energy than there is from inside the whole universe, so you may at the same time outsample. Because you can suspect the theory of white gaps was discovered due to the fascination that is mathematical black hole. In 1905, Albert Einstein understood that although accelerating perceiver enjoy times differently, that will not apply at non-accelerating perceiver, those mobile, in a continuous performance or stationary. And this the increase of light was independent of all the motion. Einstein after posted their theory of common relativity, which concluded that stuff with bulk had actually gravity, which is a distortion of time and space instead of an authentic force that is physical. Karl Schwarzhild would next utilize Einstein's field equations, solving these to select the picture of mass in vacant spacetime or even in neighborhood completely void of most thing. This triggered the Schwarzschild metric, which will spare you once the formula is actually incredibly complex. But in straightforward terms and conditions, this can be a numerical representation of the black hole. Schwarz got developed an equation of the completely static hole that is black no charge or modification. It becomes an outside hole that is a black colored gap that does not change around, and it has always been around. Remember that at or beyond the function horizon, all events take place infinitely far in the future. Vary in an outdoors observer. These happenings never ever result. The Schwarzschild metric shows you that from the idealized black hole, space becomes time and opportunity turns out to be room. Switching her functions, so the singularity associated with black hole is during some inescapable future opportunity. Rather than a put once reversing time in an actual black hole, we see a dying celebrity. But once treating an eternal black hole, we find yourself with a white gap. But never assume all researchers agree that black-colored openings exists, helping to make the present breakthrough about all of them a lot more considerable. But exactly why do some scientists doubt that white holes exist? Well, they promise that simply must be white hole obeys basic relativity, and as mathematically sounds does not mean it's functional. This is the reason some scientists call white gaps an impossible risk, for example, as they can't be totally eliminated. You should not be prepared to read one with telescopes. They base their own planning regarding the proven fact that this technology violates the law that is second of, which says entropy within the universe must always remain the exact same or increase. Entropy is generally described as turmoil, but could become better understood as an escalation in exactly how many shows were possible for particles in some program. For instance, imagine a house demolished into rubble. It is deemed an example of a boost in entropy, because the rubble will make a great many other tissues, like sheds, bookshelves, mountains, and papers. However, a residence is one state that is particular of particles. Now, lightweight decreases that are local entropy may appear assuming that the world's general entropy was growing. Black openings are excellent during this, since they capture question reduced in entropy, such as, for instance, planets, and disperse all of them across huge rooms in the long run, raising the turmoil of room. But white gaps, which ejects procedure, violate this law because they would lessening as a whole entropy. This really is also exactly why physicists argue that times cannot get backward, but it doesn't prove that black-colored holes never occur. When this notion is really best, black-colored holes that are colored founded from inside the early years could getting ready to die and destroy to cosmic radiation, or any other means radiation, was at any time which we might have experienced. Back 2006, NASA's Swift satellite Noma Gamma that is bus that is exceptionally powerful GRB 60,614 in an actually odd location for the heavens. Most of these blasts frequently get into any one of two communities burst that will be brief explosion that is extended, maybe usually regarding a supernova. But GRB 600-114 failed to create frequently. It lasted for just about any remarkable 102 mere seconds, but was not regarding any star surge. If you enjoy this video, please show us some love by liking and subscribing to our channel.